So we'll record this for everyone that can't make it. I've been asked by quite a few people to record it because fundraising is something people really want to know about. So Shannon is a rock star. She's on Lisa's team, and she has been just a go-getter and a rock star since day one. And last month she had a killing month. She had an amazing fundraiser, and I think I read you got another one this month, maybe right now, currently.
Yeah, currently.
And she actually got number 2 last month out of the 480 people in our group, which is pretty awesome. So, yeah, I'll just hand it over to you and whatever. Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm on my phone, so forgive me. I tried to get on my computer so that I could see like everybody, but for some reason my computer's not letting me do it. So I'm on my phone. So what do you guys think of my hat? Isn't it cute? Love it. Okay, first off, why do a fundraiser? That's the number one question. Why do it? You're going to get a huge boost in PRV, like huge, something that you have never seen. My PRV last month was over $3,000, and the fundraiser that I did was, let's see, my total PRV for that was $2,377. So it was huge, and I had some go-getters on that. First, it was a school. It was a preschool. It was the preschool that my kids went to when they were 3 and 4. The director of the preschool had reached out to me, so I really didn't have to do any work to find it. She just reached out to me and said, hey, do you do fundraising? And I said, absolutely. So that's what I did. So fundraising is a huge PRV boost. It's a great way to help our community. It's a great way to get your name out there. It's a great way to get new customers. And honestly, it just feels so good. I mean, you're giving back to your community. You're giving back to people. Because of this fundraiser, I was able to donate $420 to the school. So that was big. So I'll get into that part here in a little bit. Now, how do you do the fundraisers? So that's kind of how I had to like decide how to do this fundraiser. I did kind of a lot of research and tried to figure out exactly how I wanted to do it. Since he has these super cool envelopes here, and you get 50 of them, and I can't remember the price of them, but you get 50 of them. And I thought this looks super professional. I wanted this to go to all the parents and go home. So these are what I bought. And then I stamped them all with my little stamp so that my name was on the front. I didn't fill out any of the information because I figured that if there were people that didn't want to do the fundraiser, I didn't want their information on there. I kind of wanted to try to get the envelopes back. So that was my goal. So then inside the envelope, I did the brochures. The brochures are a lot cheaper than the catalog, and it shows everything. The cool thing about the brochures is that it doesn't show the bundles and saves. So unless they're like a perfect Scentsy customer, they don't know about the bundle and save. So that adds so much more PRV to your sales. That's incredible. So the brochures went in there. After the brochures, I also put in 5 of our order forms. Now, I didn't use our order forms. I made copies of the order forms. And on the order forms, I starred where I wanted them to put their information. So mostly you want them to fill in their name and their address, their city, their state, all of the main information that you want. They need to fill out if it's cash, if it's check, if it's credit. I made an oopsie on this part. So in the tax part, I put in 8.5. Now I had people actually charge or add 8.5 to their total. So they added $8.50 to their total. So if it was a $5 total, they added $8.50. Not everybody did that. A lot of people understood exactly what I meant, but some people did do that. So when you put in your tax bracket, I would put like in this area, maybe multiply by 8 point or whatever your tax bracket is. So that was my tax bracket. So that's something that I learned. That was kind of a mistake on my behalf. So don't do that, or people are going to add the 8.5. Okay. Next in the envelope, I put a scent sample in there, and I also put the brochure for the warmer of the month. If you don't have a brochure of the warmer of the month, you don't need to put this in. But I think a scent sample is pretty cool so that they can kind of smell what it is and see it, and they know what they're kind of getting them in there. And on top of the whole thing, I put a letter for myself. So the letter basically explains who I am. It says who I am. It says how to do it, to take it down. And I also, at the bottom, can you guys see this? Kathy, can you see it? Yeah, okay. So at the bottom, I did a little incentive. If they spent $200, they received a free buddy clip. So, and it even states down here, $200 before tax. Buddy clip. Circle. That, I think, honestly, is what boosted my sales in my last fundraiser, because I think some of the moms were super competitive with each other, which, I mean, that worked for me. And they wanted a buddy clip for their kids, so they worked on getting $200 in sales. Excuse me. Okay, so that's how I did that big fundraiser. I also did another fundraiser for, she's been a friend of the family for a really long time. She does this thing that's called Cows for Cures, and she was running for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society Student of the Year is what it was. So we did this fundraiser for her, and we did it all online. So basically, I set up a party on my workstation. I sent her the party link, and then she sent that party link to her friends, her family, everybody that she could. That party link she did decent on that one. That was about 500 in sales, so I was able to donate 100 to her. I also made this little sign. Oh God. It's not that little, if you can see. So she could take this little sign to events. Can you guys see it? Not really. I can take a picture of it later. So she took this sign to events. And down here, it says exactly how to get to her link, and it says what the link's called. It also has my number and all of that information on the bottom so that people could call me if they had questions. The sign worked out really well because at her events that she did, she told people to just take a picture of it, and then they could go on there and they could order exactly what she wanted. So she did pretty good. 500 for a fundraiser, I think, is pretty good. Let's see, what's next? Okay, so when it comes to these fundraisers, you want to think kind of outside the box. There's a lot of different fundraisers that you can do. You can do a scent circle. So I've kind of considered doing a scent circle. I don't know who I would do it with, but there's lots of different ways that you could do it. You could sell the scent circle to people for $3, like what we sell them for, and then they can raise the price and sell them for $5, and then they make $2 profit. So you can do it that way. You can make a list of all of the scents that we have in the scent circles, and then just tell people just to go sell them. So that's the way to do it. You can do a buddy drive. We do a buddy drive at Christmas time. So people purchase a buddy, and then we take the buddy to the nearest hospital. We take it to Valley Children's here in California. So that's a good one. Just think outside the box. I think that opening the entire catalog up is the best way to do it, just because it gives more options to people on items that they may or may not want. That's just my opinion, but
Shannon, what commission do you give? Have you been giving back 25, or do you give 30, or do you give 20?
I was actually just moving into that.
Sorry.
That's okay. So for donation wise, I give back 20%. That's what I feel comfortable with. That's a nice round number for me. If you make 20% commission, you might want to do 10%. You can give back whatever percentage you feel is what you feel is worthy for yourself. You're going to do some work on these fundraisers, and they're going to cost you. I probably spent about $50 on that school fundraiser. That's not including my time. That's not including my gas. That's not including some of those other things that I had to do for that fundraiser. So 20% was perfect for me. I made that extra 5% when I hit over $2,000. So that was profit for me, which was good for me because I needed that. I needed to substance my paycheck, I guess. So you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. If you feel comfortable with 10, 15, 20, 25, whatever you feel comfortable with. So just so we're clear, you're donating that specific fundraiser. So if your specific fundraiser made $200, you're only donating the percentage from that. You're not donating your entire percentage of PRV, because I know that I've had some people question that. So it's not the PRV for your entire month. It's only the PRV for that specific fundraiser. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Okay, how to find them, that's a big one. Where do we look to find them, right? So, like I said, my big school fundraiser, she came to me, so that was super duper easy. On our, I believe it's our business references, I believe, there is a letter in there from Heidi and Orville about fundraisers, and you can print that out, and you can take that to places, and you can say, hi, I do fundraising for Cincy. Would you be interested in doing something like this? You can hand them that letter. Now, I would type up a letter about yourself as well, because you want to sell yourself. Or you can just go to places and say, hi, I do fundraising for Cincy. Would you be interested? Can we talk? So that's a good way to do it. I did a fundraiser also for my cousin's son who has leukemia. So we did a little fundraiser for him. So you can just watch around on Facebook and see if you've got family members that are going through tough times, or you've got friends that kids are, going to dance, or this one fundraiser that I just reached out to, she had posted that she's looking for donations for a yard sale that she's doing because her daughter is going to Washington next year. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, I can do fundraising with Cincy. Would you be interested in doing a fundraiser? And she was like, oh, absolutely. Let me think about it, and maybe I'll get back to you. So she got back to me, and she said that she still wants to think about it, but it's still on her list. So those are things that you can look for. Just don't limit yourself to certain things. There's all kinds of different fundraising aspects. You've got friends that had a fire. You can fundraise for them. You can fundraise for anything because it's your commission that you're donating. It's not Cincy's money. It's your money that you're donating.
That's a really good point, because I think a lot of people a lot of times I know when I'm asked about fundraisers, people get kind of confused. They think Cincy gives the money, but really it's your commission. So
Exactly. It's our commission. It's how we feel. And the good thing about it is it's a tax write-off, so that you can take everything that you used from that fundraiser and you can use it as a tax write-off. So this check that I wrote for this preschool, I copied it. I took it to the preschool, the piece of paper that I copied, and I had her sign that piece of paper that shows that she got her money, that it's all taken care of, that we're square. because I want that proof too. I don't want the IRS to come and be like, well, you might have just wrote this check. You didn't give it to her. No, yes, I did. I have her signature. Look. What's next?
That's really smart. I've never thought about that, but that's really smart.
Thank you. I feel like I'm getting like cotton mouth. Okay, let's get to brass tacks. The process of entering the fundraiser into the computer. So this fundraiser that I did, this big one, had probably 40 different customers in it. And it took me from 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night to enter this thing in. And I still made a couple of mistakes. I'm only human. It happens. But when you start entering these orders into the computer, just take your time. Be very vigilant on it. Enter it one by one, and you'll get through it. It's painless. But that's all I can say is just take your time, because that part's hard. The fun part is when all of the boxes come, because I had 4 boxes at my door when I got home, and that was awesome. So, you know, going through all the boxes, it's like Christmas time. I was so excited. So I pulled out all the stuff, and I had it all over my couches, and I had the scent bars all over my table. I had everything lined up and organized and put in different places, and that part was a lot of fun. And then I just bagged it up like I normally would any other order. I put a cute little thank you card in there. They were all printed out, semi-generic, but it all said thank you for doing the New Beginnings fundraiser. If you ever need anything else, please contact me. It had my name, it had my number on there. So that took care of my thank yous. I decorated them all super duper cute, and then I kept those boxes that my orders came in, and I put all of the orders back in there to go directly to the kid that it came from. So that part was a little confusing, a little bit hard. But just take your time, you'll get through it. It all works out in the end, I promise you. The next part is the follow-up part. And this I just finished on Monday, I believe. So my follow-up was contacting everybody from the fundraiser and asking them if they liked the product that they ordered. And I made sure that I asked them a specific product that they had ordered. I received 2 orders, and a couple maybe they wanted to party from doing that. So follow-up is key. You must do it in your business. And I think that's it. Was that fast?
No, you're good. You gave a lot of information. So I would love to hear if anyone has any questions. I want to go back for a second. One of the things she mentioned was about where to find them. Yesterday, I had a friend post on Facebook, and I've asked her before about selling Scentsy, doing anything with Scentsy. She joined another company, but I saw her post about how her group at her school needs fundraising to go to. They need to raise $1,000 or something, maybe she didn't put the number, to go on a trip. And so I just said, I do fundraisers. I mean, that's all I said was I do fundraisers. And she said she tagged the parent, and the parent has now written me back, and she's ready to do an event. So where working with a school or something, or then I have friends that do like gymnastics teams. I have one friend who every single year, twice a year, she literally buys a plane ticket and she flies up to Washington to launch the fundraiser for that semester for their gymnastics team. And she does that, and I mean, that's a tax write-off, but it's like she brings in usually around between $11,000 and $15,000. Yes, no joke. And I'm like, what? But that's why she can fly herself there, and it's very important for her to show up there. And they have a team meeting where everyone comes in and she explains to all the parents what's going to happen. And for that aspect, like gymnastics or whatever, it's important because if you're, I think it's a competitive team. If you're in competition like that, you're talking big money. So these girls and these parents work very hard. And in a sense, all they're all doing is having a catalog party, you know, and they take it off of what each child goes on. So I have not done a big one like that. I have not done a big one like Shannon's, which is super, I'm super like, oh, and awe, you know. But if I see someone on social media who says, I need money, and not like I'm broke, I need money, like I need to raise money for something, I'm there. So here I am now setting up a Facebook event that I'm just going to post a couple times a day. And last time I did one in December, and I ended up sending them $300. And that was all Facebook. That was me getting emails on the regular that people are placing orders. Do they always turn out that way? No. But guess what? If you don't try, you're never going to find the ones that do, right? And I mean, I'm all about them. I think that's so amazing. I love seeing when Shannon's products came to her house and posting about it because it's so fun. And also just to see like being able to give back, and you're getting your name out. Imagine if you live like in a small town. I know the small town I'm from, there's another superstar director there, and she always does a fundraiser with the school. And I love watching her pictures because again, like Shannon, just giving back so much, but her name is out there now so much because she's done them year after year after year. So that's awesome. And I love how you did the prizes. That's really fun. Does anyone have any questions, or have you experienced a fundraiser? You want to share anything?
I was going to share that if you have any friends or, okay, so gymnastics, dance, and cheerleaders are all very competitive by nature, I believe. So they're going to be competing with each other in the fundraising itself, and they all want to get the highest sales, and they all want to get the, I'm better, than you. So, see if you've got any friends that have any kids that are in, cheerleading, dance, or gymnastics, things like that. I've done a couple fundraisers with some softball teams, and they've been pretty well. I've actually got one that's supposed to be ending today, but I think they wanted to extend it by a couple days. So I don't even know where it's at yet, but I was at church, and two of the girls came over, and they were talking to one of the moms and saying, well, I went up to so-and-so teacher because they're in high school, and she's going to buy from me. And then she's like, no, she's going to buy from me. Well, I got this teacher and I got that teacher. And I mean, they were already, going at each other, trying to compete for sales. So that's definitely the way to go. And, on my first fundraiser I did with them, this is my second, on the first one I did with them, I was able to give them almost $500. So it's, helping them. It was during an incentive period, so I got all those PRV points. Like Shannon said, it's, helping them, helping you, helping the team. There's can't go wrong with them.
Cassie, am I muted? Can you hear me? Yeah. So that reminded me. So I did do like an incentive for them. I did the buddies. You sell $200 and you get a buddy. So I didn't pay for those buddies. Those buddies came out of the free products that I had. My party was over $2,000, so I had like over $300 in free products for myself. So I only had to buy, I think, 6 or 7 $15 little buddy clips, and then the rest of that was mine to use for myself. So I stocked up on all kinds of stuff. So my next show is going to be pretty amazing with all of this stuff that I have in stock. I'm pretty excited about that. But if you decide that you want to do an incentive like that, like a buddy clip or a cent circle, you spend so much, you raise so much, you get a free something. Don't use your money, use your free money or your half off so that you can get that kind of stuff for that.
That's great. Oh, It blacked out. Okay, you're there. Listen, we got this question. I have a parent who runs their school fundraisers events, and they're interested and they want to know details. She's pretty new to the whole thing, so is there information written down? She's a visual learner. Now, Shannon, are you part of the Sensational Fundraisers Cincy page?
I am.
Okay, so I believe it's called Sensational Fundraisers. I think that's right. You can, play around with the words there, and I can look for it. I'm Okay, and guys, if you go there, there is so much I'm getting overwhelmed speaking. So much information, it can be overwhelming. So what you want to do is take the information that you see there and see what works for you. And you're going to see things like Shannon has talked about. A lot of information about Scent Circle fundraisers, car bar fundraisers. I sent that to you privately, Sabrina. What else? Like buddy clip fundraisers, full catalog fundraisers. But I will tell you from what I hear from people that do like the bigger ones, they do have more success, like she said, when you do a full catalog. Of course, like she also said, you don't want to send them with a catalog. Couple of reasons. That's overwhelming in itself. And the other reason is that's money. If they throw that away, that's money thrown away, And one of the things Shannon said was when she showed the fundraiser envelope she uses from the Cincy Family Store, they're awesome. But she didn't put information on there because if they didn't do anything, they could give it back. And there we go. I have done them before and used like those big manila envelopes. You can use anything you want. And one of the things I was going to say, Shannon was giving the tip for putting the tax information at the bottom. You could always make a little label and even put it there like that. That way they know instead of handwriting everyone, depending on how big of a one you have. Did you find it, Shannon?
Still looking. I have a lot of groups. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I think it is Sensational Fundraisers. I don't know why I think that. Sabrina, are you trying to talk? Oh. Anybody else have anything to add, or have any of you guys done any successful fundraisers?
I have all about fundraising for Cincy consultants. I guess that's the group that I belong to.
Well, I don't know what Sensational Fundraisers is then. All about, sorry, what fundraisers?
All about fundraising for Cincy consultants. Maybe they changed the name.
I don't know. But you can
remember of it too.
When you go there, look in the files. There's so much information in their files. So many things you can save and edit, or you can create yourself. And I do think if you do it for younger children, especially, like offering an incentive is key. Get those kids excited for those buddy clips or whatever.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I actually, for the first fundraiser I did for the softball team, it was last year, so the girls were a little younger, not in high school yet. So I did the buddy clip at one stage and a buddy at another stage, and then, it went up from there. But this time I decided to do $25 Visa gift cards. Well, it's starting at $10 and it goes up. And I'm actually going to use Combine and Save money to buy those. So that's just another way to do it.
That's a good idea, using that. So can you explain to everyone what you mean when you say you're going to use that Combine and Save money?
Well, on the first fundraiser I did for them, like I said, I gave them almost $500, and I actually made about $300 in cash because the brochure does not show the Combine and Saves, but I took the orders and put them into Combine and Saves, and I was able to keep the cash. So I'm going to use that cash for the Visa gift cards because I don't think that high schoolers are as into, the buddies and things like that. So look at your audience and think about what's going to incentivize them.
That's great. Anything else, anyone? Any questions? Well, Shannon, thank you so much. I think your information was fabulous, very helpful. We got to see what you do, and I'm really excited to see what this fundraiser does for you. Guys, again, if you have questions, you can probably even YouTube Cincy Fundraiser. I bet there's some videos out there. This is going to be saved. I'll put it up on my YouTube channel, and I'll share it. And then, yeah, join that Facebook group if you have any questions. But this is a great way. Like, if you can get out there and get yourself some fundraisers, you can see yourself really thriving through the next few months until you get to the busy months again. Sabrina, you saying something?
No.
Oh, okay. Show me yourself. So, okay, well, we won't keep you guys. We want to make sure your time is well spent, and we don't want to keep you for nothing. But thank you again, Shannon. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.